Prahlad, not the first time though. This is not the first time that a controversy like this has come up. You have named one. Let's go back in history. There was a Paheli, there was a Peeply Live which went and an Udan did not. What is it that we are doing wrong? Why do we keep making the wrong choices over and over and over and over again?
Because, you know, today, I mean, there's so much cinema from the world that we can actually plagiarize from or be inspired from, that for an Indian, academy, which is given a certain amount of time to do due diligence on the films, it becomes very difficult to turn around and find out whether they've copied it from a Korean film or not, or an Egyptian film, or an Iranian film, or whatever else have you, because those films have not been commercially released in this country, and it's very difficult to get hold of them.
But do you think, Prahlad, we have the best people out there making the choices that they do, considering this is not the first time that an embarrassment like this has happened? Because clearly, like you pointed out, this film is going to go out there and in all probability get disqualified.
You know, I think the whole process needs to be a little more transparent. And as usual, like the cops in India, the media landed up a little too late and little too little, you know. But if you guys had known that these were the entries, then maybe you would have turned around and pointed out the fact that there were lots of discrepancies in certain films, which would then not come or be disqualified from contention. But this happened after the process and everything was done. The reason why there's so much secrecy in the format is that there's so much lobbying that goes on, you know, and so much pressure that comes, that some of it is like really avoidable, you know. But, so they don't tell anybody who the jury is.
You know, you got a point there, Prahlad, but, you know, the media trusted the men sitting there making the choices to pick the right film. We're going to come back and talk about it in a short while from now. Let's quickly play across all those scenes which seem duly inspired, or shall we say copied. Let's listen in and see these scenes. Well, some might call it inspiration, some might call it clear copying. Well, the jury on that is out there. We have with us to break it down whether this was the best bet for the Oscars. We do have with us the ad guru, Prahlad Kakkar, joining us from Bombay. Joining us now is also my colleague and our entertainment editor, Denzel O'Connell. Denzel, let me quickly come to you before we go down to Prahlad. What is the buzz in Bollywood right now? What are your sources telling you? Because there might be a lot of cynicism. A lot of people are laughing at this particular film as an entry to the Oscars. What are you picking up?
One side we have the public, and that's a different view altogether. YouTube's getting bombarded, the people are saying this is a bad choice, etc, etc. That being apart, as far as Bollywood is concerned, it's always a divided dream. So there are vested interests, but the fact of the matter is that when you're choosing a movie like this, you need to be careful. You need to choose a movie that's basically traditional, a movie that has its roots in India, whereas a movie like this is an entertainer, yes, a great movie in terms of how it went for the actors and how it entertained, but beyond that it's not a traditional Indian movie. I would, for instance, talk about a Pan Singh Tomar. Now, a Pan Singh Tomar is a very strong movie. It would have been a very powerful narrative. It would have taken us across in the Oscars. So if I put this against us, I'd say bad. But as far as Bollywood is concerned, well, half of them certainly are voting for the Pan Singh Tomars of the world. Those are the people associated with it. The other half are voting for the Kahanis of the world, the people associated with it. And finally, of course, we have Anurag Basu on the third front, who's saying that, well, I made this movie to go there, and if you don't like it, you don't like it. And I think that's where we rest the case as far as Bollywood's concerned.